Okay, so the LAPD, who are demon possessed, as are the population that just come onto the grounds, demon possessed, stalking in the demonic environment. There's no sun over the Victoria Gardens or the Paul Bunyan Library in Rancho Cucamonga right now at the same time in the same position. There's no provision for that when the fake sun remains over me all day long, which is how you know it's not a sun, which is how you're recognizing a pattern of conduct. And you can also look at the details. It's not over Paul Bunyan Library while this demon comes onto the ground, and they're going to federal prison for group stalking with minor children who are engaging in surveillance in the laundry room. Tiffany Cherez's minor children, by the way. The 15-year-old is going to be prosecuted as a group stalker. There's no sun over the Paul Bunyan Library. You can see through the windshield of the vehicle here. This group stalker who's engaging in surveillance, strategic placement like FedEx, the exact same pattern of conduct, while the entity is flying back and forth over my office because they are keeping my phone under surveillance, knowing what I'm capturing screenshots of. The light source that you can see through the windshield on the vehicle, and at 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you can see the same thing. Light source through the windshields of the vehicle parked at the exact same property, which is what I'm showing you through the vehicles parked in the same parking lot at 7 o'clock in the morning, speaking to condition and criminal conduct. The license plate is speaking to what is impunity, a demon that is rebellious and engaging in what is audacity. That's prosecution for impunity. The engineered light that's in the depths of the hallway, stalking the path. This is the demon that's pacing back and forth as though she's loading something. She's group stalking an engineered light, doing so under a fake sun, stalking the path with a method of light activity, doing so in concert with the people of the state under the age of majority. She's going to federal prison for that. Coming onto the grounds, which is exactly what FedEx does. A demon just carrying a package. This is a demon just carrying a laundry basket. Doing so in that same exact, within that same exact P.O.C. And everybody here is going to federal prison. So it's 12:21 p.m. This is the light source that's still at the same property. It's nowhere near Rancho Cucamonga, which is where I am walking toward Victoria Gardens at 11. When you're looking at FedEx group stalking in the parking lot, there's no sun over my head in its zenith. That's speaking to the pattern of conduct where the entity is stalking in heavily documented in Ontario, California, pacing in the path while Erica Martinez is group stalking, and that's a method of light activity. Her and her mother, and I believe she's likely not a natural born citizen. Her mother's going to be deported out of this country. All right, she's engaging in terrorism with Erica Martinez, who's in custody of minor children. Group stalking with demons who are under the age of majority, okay? Group stalking, that's Tiffany Cherez's teenage daughter. And this is impunity. Tiffany Cherez, the entity, knows it's being documented. That's the government, that's Dominic Choi, the LAPD. They know that they're being documented. You're talking about federal prison, okay? Communicating a threat. Representing the entity that is referencing your documentation to communicate a threat, trying to silence you. That's relevant for federal prison. Dominic Choi knows he's being documented. Let me point that out to you. Dominic Choi is engaged in terrorism with minor children who are inside of the laundry room where I am showing the light source that is seen through this windshield at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You can see it through the vehicle right here. Okay, the fake sun is not. The people of the state are engaging in stalking in the most pathetic and despicable ways with those under the age of majority, like they are engaging in terrorism in third world countries with those under the age of majority. And you have they're not in school, they're not learning something beneficial, they're engaging in terrorism and sexual violence, workplace terrorism, which are going to charge speaker companies for. Okay, I'm going to drain their pockets for this. That's all they're doing is living at this property, engaging in 24-hour surveillance, and they use their children. This is documentation of what is the government's abuse and the people of the state's abuse of children, employing them in terrorism and group stalking, which is psychotic criminal activity in the first place. And you are doing so, engaging in surveillance, just like you, Kim, at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Okay, just like what is Marie Ennis is at 11 o'clock in the morning. Just like Joan Kim is at 8 o'clock in the morning, and you have the same presence of the light source here, okay, while the entity is stalking in helicopters, while demons are driving on the property, not coincidentally, but pursuant to a pattern, maintaining the elements of monitoring, okay, knowing exactly when I'm walking out of my office to the front door, that's when a demon is arriving in the path. That's exactly what FedEx was doing. You're just looking at a logo. I'm going to drain the pockets of that logo, but I want to make sure that I'm also speaking to the reality. These companies that make a lot of money in the U.S., they're terrorizing and group stalking you. And then when you become aware of it, like I am speaking to and showing in the world, they are hostile to your so-called constitutional and human rights while they bow down to Satan. All right. And I just want to be clear. It makes sense with regard to Satan, who actually hates you, including those who are serving him and who are going to federal prison for it. But Satan actually hates you in your so-called God-given rights. Okay, he's hostile, exceedingly hostile. You can see that animated through the behavioral patterns of the people of the state who are demon-possessed. Okay, it is currently 12:24 p.m. Those are minor children that are threatening my life, engaging in terrorism and engaging in workplace terrorism, and they're doing so with the entity threatening my life while the entity is stalking in a helicopter, using minor children to communicate that threat to your life and your well-being. Okay, just want to make sure I document that. And they are exhibiting demon possession, fully aware of the fact that I am walking around, opening the door for me. I didn't knock on the window. I didn't say anything. I'm silently walking out, and this minor child is greeting me by opening the door. This is, first of all, speaking to the condition. This is speaking to concerted conduct by the state in an unnatural environment. So I just want to make sure I point that out. That is very much terrorism, not only by the pattern of conduct, but also by the condition that is relevant with regard to engaging in group stalking with the state. This is P.O.C. It's currently 12:25 p.m. You are removing minor children that are in the possessed population and using them to engage in criminal conduct, okay? This is on the watch of Dominic Choi, who is fully aware of demonic and criminal system that the men and women of the LAPD are engaging in. And this is the documentation of what is a light source that's not over Ranch Cucamonga and over Alvarado Gardens for the duration of the day. This is the same environment where those demon-possessed group stalkers are flying over my apartment, concentrating the helicopter activity toward me, concentrating what is the amplification, which is state action by demons who are targeting you still, while the light source that you see through this windshield right here in perfect alignment with me, speaking to the light source that's right here, not in Ranch Cucamonga, not over Victoria Gardens, not over the Paul Bryan Library, like I documented on this day in 2022. Okay, at the same time, it's impossible that would be the natural environment. And I'm also giving you logical and see with your own eyes. Oh, there's no sun over Ranch Cucamonga. All right, these are demons stalking in hell, stalking with minor children. Crossing path, let me be clear, those teenagers are not outside of, that teenager's not outside of the pattern of conduct. They're all group stalking. They sent down some minor children to engage in the criminal conduct, maintaining presence in the path. While they're in their apartment, they're still group stalking. The LAPD is under no circumstances protecting anyone. This is what the delusional demons do not understand. They are directly providing evidence against the entire population. They're all going to federal prison. Every single last one. This is P.O.C. It is currently 12:26 p.m. in the unnatural environment, and amongst the state that is engaged in group stalking, which is criminal surveillance, the people of the state are of the same exact condition, mirroring the exact same demonic behavior. They are doing so with those over and under the age of majority, which is directly relevant to the ways in which you will be prosecuted and that population will be cleansed. It is 12:26 p.m. This is where the fake sun was over me as I stood at the same path and you saw an employee of a third-party company group stalking with his back to me. This is where the light source remained. That was at 8 o'clock in the morning, by the way. This is called demonic pacing. You can see the light source over the vehicle while that demon just drives onto the ground, crossing path. That's the same thing the LAPD just did in a helicopter. That's the same thing that they were doing stalking in a laundry room, walking back to their apartment, where they are all maintaining presence. You just have demons that come in close proximity, walking by or driving by, because the demons need to crawl around in the engineered light. That's demonic. That's what they're doing. And it is done in concert with minor children. And that's directly relevant to the ways in which the federal judges are going to prosecute this population. And it's occurring in the workplace. I'm going to prosecute speaker companies. This is P.O.C.